up at the beginning part of the meeting. Because this really talks about what makes the chapter tick. We have 2,500 members. I mean, that's a huge number of members, which is, it's just fantastic. And, so we want to keep the members, we want to hear from the members, hear from all of you. What is the most significant value items? You're going to see some of that coming up in the quarterly review, quarterly executive review for all of you executives that are here tonight. We're here to present this executive review. So looking forward to it, and I'm going to turn it over to Pamela really just to say any first few words before we go through the individual rounds. Pamela Smith, our VP of Operations and President-elect and Secretary. Very important to have put this entire deck together, so appreciate it, Pamela. All right, thank you.
Well, tonight it is time, the first time of the year for us to present to you, the Board of Directors, summary of the first quarter. We do report on a quarterly basis what we've been up to, so that you can know that we haven't just been sort of sitting around meeting to eat coffee on a quarterly basis. So, anyway, we will start tonight by going through each team will present their results for quarter one. And we will first start with introductions. Of course, you know, Doug, if you could just wave your hand again. President, of course, and the VP of Communications this year is Greg Stoner. Is Carolyn Kessler here, or? No, okay. VP of External Relations is Carolyn Kessler, as she's coming through the door.
All right.
We have VP of Membership, Arthur Condora. VP of PMO, Jeff Davis. VP of Professional Development, Alika Victor. I don't think Alika's here tonight. VP of Programs, which is Tom Kula. And last but not least, VP of Finance is Forrest Smith. And could you go to the next slide? Strategic Leadership Meeting. Just to review, we had, kicked off for 2009, we had a strategic leadership meeting as we do every year. And that was facilitated by Sherry Thomas. And what we came up with is a plan for 2009 priorities and objectives. And Doug will start by going through some of the priorities and talk about some of the tools that we're using for this year. Doug,
okay, so you've seen this last month. I've updated it a little bit as I wanted the arrows, both directions and whatnot. But we laminated this, we've got it out there, you can take a look at it. And this is really the output of our strategic planning meeting that happened twice. As you saw, one shot there was when we actually did it on Super Bowl Sunday. So it ended up a little bit of a Cardinals theme. But the first one here, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit coming up in my president's minute. 20 seconds on piece of the timing this time. I know we spent 5 minutes last month on it, so you got the deep dive. But the key things that we really want to zero in on: focus and enhance commitment to improve membership satisfaction and enable chapter growth. I mean, that's right at the top, right? Dramatically improve stakeholder satisfaction. You can see the rest of the list: meet financial targets, drive chapter growth and retention. I think this is probably the first year that the chapter has done like a top 5 like this priorities that I keep back in here. So this is this is laminated too. We really wanted to be in front of our board. This is really, you can see this is what we're standing for. This is what we're working on this year for you, for all of us, and to take the chapter to the next level, right? As Sasha used to say, and continue that vision. So that's really all I wanted to say about that slide. Do I have the next slide, please? Oh, yes. Now, this slide you didn't see last month. And this is the dashboard. We put together a dashboard that we're going to be measuring our individual teams to every month. And we've got a couple colors up there which we'll talk to about later. But you can see it's only the top 4 actually made it because we wanted to blow up the print a little bit. But you can see here that this looks just like a key milestones, target start date, completion date, percent complete. We've got about 10% complete on these. And it's beginning of the year to the end of the year. So this is our program plan, really, is what this is we're doing this in a pseudo PGMP manner, right? As program directors and VPs. So as you can see, this is how we handle and manage the top 5
They're talking
throughout the year. So that's all we got on that. Okay, and then the other thing I was going to talk about, now I'm going to turn it over to the rest of the team, is GIA, the Government Information Technology Agency. And first off, I want to thank Forrest Smith here. I can see the 3 of us are in this picture. Tom Kula actually attended a couple of the other sessions as well. He's not in this picture, but he's on the other ones. And we're going to kind of rotate as far as board attending. What this is the Government Information Technology Agency, which is an agency for the state of Arizona, where the state of Arizona PMs have an orientation session every few months, and we're plugged into that right now, and thanks to Forrest. I don't know, Forrest, is there anything else you want to mention about that? We got plugged into it about 4 months ago.
The only thing I would say is that in May there will be another session for some of you with the state of Arizona or any government organization. If you're interested in becoming a state, and it's called State Certified Project Manager, which you have to be in order to do business with the state of Arizona, being certified by the state. That session is in May, so check the bulletin board with GIA and make sure that you're able to attend that session.
Okay, thanks, Forrest. That's good. And there is no cost for these sessions. You just have to spend, 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours in an afternoon, and there's a win-win on this, really. So it's really cool. So if any of you have the time, definitely encourage it. And that's what we did. They got about 100 or 80 slide deck. Talks about a lot of the things that the state of Arizona is doing, which is also interesting. And then we spend about 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes and go over what PMI Phoenix could do for you for the state of Arizona and whatnot. So that's it for me, and I'll turn it back to Pamela.
Thanks, Doug. The first, we'll be going through, as I mentioned before, team by team, what results we have for Q1, for quarter 1 of 2009. Before I move forward and go over our results, I just want to mention that we will hear from communications team, from external relations, membership, project management, office, professional development, programs, and finance. And Forrest will be going through quite a bit of information, I think, regarding finance. So if you have questions on any of our presentations, please you can put your questions with there again. For operations, the team is responsible for process for keeping the organization compliant with national, with regard to scorecard that has been implemented last year. And so one of the things that we have been working on is continued alignment with PMI Global's new performance management framework, which part of it is the scorecard, part of it is renewing the annual chapter charters, which is one of the things that we were able to file for this first quarter. We also, operations group is responsible for organizing the 2009 strategic leadership meeting. There's a bit of organization there to get that organized and run. And then also we held the responsible for organizing and structuring the board of director meetings. We have, I personally represented at the Phoenix chapter in Kuala Lumpur in February and met with other PMI chapters out there. It was very interesting to see that while there are very different groups up there, there's just so many parallel needs in many of the growing chapters at the same levels we are, where we are looking at trying to formalize our processes and getting more infrastructure around our organization for 2009. Currently, our 2009 operations team is Karen Maxey is the AVP, Barbara Greenberg is Director of Process, Bill Coomer is Director of Reporting, and we also have Chris Morris, who is also working on some reporting projects as well. The last thing to discuss is continued chapter reporting efforts to PMI and Phoenix membership. We are working with membership to provide them with enough reports so that they can help grow the membership for 2009, which will definitely be a challenge for this year. We also, lastly, the very last thing is that we have a lot of process needs, so that if there are any people that are interested in helping out with process documentation, we have quite a number of projects, and we'd love for anybody who's interested to see in the meeting if they're interested in any volunteer opportunities. Thank you. I will hand it over to communications. Where's Joe?
Got notes here somewhere. So communications, the first thing you think about is email blasts and all those things you get almost daily from the chapter. Well, communications is a lot more than just maintaining that technology. The chapter website is under my responsibility, my area of responsibility. Also, there are other bits of stealth technology that have gotten employed by previous boards and other volunteers, and those are being pulled and consolidated right now as well. One of the key things in that area is our SharePoint project. We want to bring up a SharePoint portal and start removing some of those stealth IT projects that are out there, where somebody would often get a Google share of some sort or a Yahoo group or things like that, and pull them into one area where we can actually manage them, plus get them out of the public domain in more of a privately controlled environment. So that was just started this quarter. The team on that is starting to ramp up. We expect to have that running within a month or so. The other area that we do is our ongoing maintenance of all the mail groups. You people can sign up for email blast. You can also opt out. That does, with a large chapter like ours of 2,500 members, tends to be a little bit time consuming at times. We also maintain all the other special groups of emails, so there's quite a few of those out there as well. That was one of the surprising things when I first took over this role, was just how many email groups we maintain. So it's been surprising, it's been a bit of a challenge, but it's also been interesting as far as what the chapter needs and really just how big we really are. Right now, I remember we're kind of a small business, or actually a very large business, and looking at the IT infrastructure, we definitely see that. So my team is also responsible, besides the maintaining the email list, but also doing the website maintenance. And right now we're looking at revamping the website, pretty much top to bottom, and aligning it more to what the board needs today, what you need today, and fit the needs of a 2,500 member chapter as well. So Stan, when you ask for help, I'm going to ask for help as well. I need help in the area of newsletter publishing and also bulletin publishing. So if somebody is looking at content, production, editing, some web graphic design, what we see, definitely would love to put your work and put that.
And I just need to mention, particularly to the board, that we are starting to run late. We do have a timekeeper. We are project managers. That's part of the triple constraint. Time, very important to us. We need to end at 6:25, so I'm going to ask all the board members to try to summarize as much as possible. Yes. Hi, I'm Kelly Kessler. Any questions?
Just highlight a couple things. Jeff Green moved into our ADP position, so we are looking for a backfill for the corporate outreach and director position, and it's posted on the volunteer website. And we've got a lot of great networking events coming up and academic outreach. And of course, book discussion group. We are moving the book discussion group to coincide with PDM meetings, so we can increase membership for those in the book discussion group. We're looking at meeting out down the way here. So starting in May, we'll be doing that, try that out, so it's not on a separate night. So those are the.
Hello, my name is Arthur Pedrola, DPA membership. I want to share with you some of the activities we've had in Q1, and we really expect those to really kick off a lot in Q2. So far, again, our membership is growing slowly but steadily. We expect to increase that growth. So we're at just over 2,500 with a growth of 3.5%. I want to welcome, and I'm not sure if he's in the room yet, he's actually leading the orientation event next door, Salil Kadam. He has jumped on board about 2 or 3 weeks ago as Director of Volunteer Services. He is really taking on and leading a lot of projects, and it's really been a blessing to have him because he's going to lead into Q2 for membership with a lot of projects that are very active right now, and we're looking to completing many projects under his leadership, so thank you to him. Also, we're developing a volunteer to database tracking system, working with a piece of software that's going to allow us to better store your information as members as well. And again, we have had the orientation events next door every month so far, and we will continue those every month at 5:30 for new members. And finally, we have a strong volunteer recruitment directive. We recently sent out a survey and solicited 2 of those that responded are interested. There are 100+ individuals interested in volunteering. We have 30 open volunteer positions, but the interesting part is as we fill those, more projects come up from those, and our volunteers will grow from there. So that's our goal, is to continue supplying projects to individuals as they come on board and volunteer. So I encourage you to volunteer and use your creativity. Thank you.
So we have a lot of projects going on. I'm going to tell you about each and every one of them individually. The problem is there's one that's missing here, and that's your project. So this chapter exists to serve you. Some of us are between assignments at work. Therefore, we have an opportunity to help out with the chair and have activities that relate to what's going on with project management. Some of us are working on our PMPs and need support in finding the hours to support what we're after in terms of PMP and other activities and experience. We're here to support that, and as a chapter, we're here to support those events, those activities that you can become involved in to support going forward in your careers. So think about how you can support the organization as we support you. Okay.
I'm filling in for Lisa Victor, who could not be here this evening. Again, Alina's VP of Professional Development. Just some highlights. I know that they've been working on, her team has been working on creating courseware for the upcoming new 4th edition of the PMI. So that she'll be starting to be offering classes, is it in May or June, somewhere in that time frame. She has also continued on with the quality assurance audit for instructors, getting together a program, systematic approach to ensuring the highest quality instructors for the chapter. She's also her team has also been working on certification programs offered through the chapter, continuing on with the CAPM courses, PMP and PGMP prep courses. Her Saturday series of workshops will continue to be offered throughout the first quarter, will be continuing throughout the year. She's also doing some webinars for list of offerings, as well as monthly professional development meetings. So that's it. Next person.
Okay. Thank you, Pamela. When I think of programs, what I think of is a high five. because right now we are offering 5 PDMs a month. We've never offered that many before, ever, and this is chapter. And there's a bright light on the horizon because I hope next year to raise up 2 high fives. We have a lot of things planned. We'll be talking more about those during the meeting. We also ran some statistics on the attendance of our, on the averages. It looks like, for the most part, we had a slight dip in the Phoenix attendance, but we also picked up members in the other PDMs. Now, our first thought was that people are leaving this PDM to go into Scottsdale. That's not true. Our next slide, we ran some tests and we show a very weak correlation. No PDM is stealing members from other PDMs. It's probably due more to the economy, the stock market, layoffs, or maybe if the D-backs lose, people aren't in a good mood. When one PDM drops in attendance, they all do. With that, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Forrest Smith, our VP of Finance.
Since we are relatively short on time, I'm not going to read our mission statement to you. But a quick glance of it. Basically, we're here to serve you and ensure that we share responsibilities to our members. Next slide. Okay, from a balance sheet standpoint, I just want to get right to the bottom line of it. As you can see, from the bottom line. And these are the total dollars that we have this year. This information, by the way, will be placed on the this information will be on the network. What we have is a consolidated financials showing 2009 first quarter, 2008 first quarter, and 2007 first quarter. So we can get a comparison as to what the performance has been over the period. But the net at this point, we have an equity of $123,719.61. Okay, from a cash flow standpoint, operating so far, I'm just going to cover the first quarter of this year. We are at a deficit of $16,084.86. That is not a surprise to us necessarily. If you remember, in December, we reported that we were going to be donating some money to some charities that were not initially in our budget. So we donated money to charities, one to Teach for America, as well as we donated additional money, as you know, in our last meeting to another charity organization. So again, you'll see this information on the website. If you have some questions about it, don't hesitate to ask. We will share that with you. We have an open book as it relates to finance. So give me a call, 480-776-7842. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Forrest. And speaking on behalf of the Board of Directors, I want to thank everyone for listening to us. We will be around after the meeting to answer questions. And I also want to thank Forrest for finally using our pointer. We've had it for about a year and no one's ever used it. Thank you, Forrest.